Join us for all things Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, that is. We're talking Miami Dolphins football on the Fins Radio Network.
Senior Bowl. Yes, that's forever memorialized in a great picture of me at about 10 yards high and Bo Jackson at about 9.5. Everybody else below us wearing different helmets, and it was a great picture that captured a spectacular moment in my life. It's just a great picture because really I was from Western, kind of not a well-known college, especially at the Division I level, and that guy at the top was Bo Jackson. Oh, it's like unbelievable that a guy from Western Michigan. For me, I was actually the lead story for the Sports Illustrated kind of draft drama. They did a whole story on me from. They took this Midwestern guy that was kind of up and coming in the draft, and they took me from my graduation in college to the pre-draft parties through the draft, and right into the Miami Dolphins minicamp. It was like going from like Midwestern farm town to Miami Vice. It couldn't have been more wild and fun, and Coach Shula taught me a good lesson early. He said, you better get nervous about the things that really matter in life. And boy, I tell you what, I was nervous from the time my toes hit Florida. I think a lot of people in the league respected my efforts in that on that defense and on this team, and voted me in on the Pro Bowl.
Oh, absolutely.
Rookie of the year, it was just a dream come true. We played a 3-4. There was no protection on inside linebackers. We were like 3 yards away from a 300-pound guard whose whole goal in life, if it was a running play, was to hit me as hard as he could. I was renegotiating a contract at the time. I realized that football was really only going to last so many more years the way I was playing it. And so I wanted to get into a business that could kind of pick up a lot of the determination and kind of passion that I had that I knew I couldn't, put on the field much longer. My wife and I put plans together to get into a business, and my brother-in-law had an equipment company, and he had just started a bagel concept up in Chicago, and I said, well, we like the idea. We'll buy the recipes and put our best thoughts into a bagel concept down here in Florida. And took that idea to my lawyer, and my lawyer looked at me and said, John, you never worked in a restaurant. You never took a business class. My major was biomedicine. You are Norwegian. This is a Jewish, kind of outside of New York, the second highest Jewish population down here. You are destined to fail, especially as a football player. So then a week later, he says, hey, John, I got a gift for you. And so I go into his office, and it was a big box, and I opened up the box, and it was a bagel toaster. And he said, you know something? You got the heart. You go for it. So it was pretty cool. It was like a little affirmation, and I did, and my wife, she's got a bigger heart than I do. So you want to go a little off subject here? Quiz me on all my providences in Canada. American, what the
ask you? Okay, well let's hear them, because there's a lot of Canadians that probably couldn't answer that question. But
all right, I'm not 100% sure, but let's start. Let's start out west. We got British Columbia. We got Alberta.
Right on.
Saskatchewan? Oh gosh. Well, I know you got Ontario. I know you got Quebec. Labrador?
Well, actually, that's part of our province, Newfoundland and Labrador. Yeah.
All right. That counts, though, right?
Oh, yeah, we'll give you that.
Nova Scotia? New Brunswick?
Yes, sir.
Oh, gosh. 1, 2...
One more.
3, 4, 5... Northwest Territory?
Well, those aren't considered the provinces. There's 3 Northwest Territories, which, we don't mind that, but there's one other province left.
It starts with, it's out west, isn't it?
No, it's another Atlantic province.
Oh, I got it. Prince Edward Island.
Right on, there you go.
Woo! Way to go, John.
I am a Canadian, eh?
Not bad, eh?
Oh, I have so many. I have a lot of Shula stories. Because Shula was such a strong figure. And he kind of a caricature of himself even while he was coaching. So you'd almost sit there and look at him and say, I feel like I'm in a cartoon at the moment. And so those things kind of stick with you, even while you're living through them. But my first year, since, you know, I wasn't familiar with the surroundings and the people, seems to come front and center in my memory. But I'll never forget the first game I played down here in the Orange Bowl. It was the last year. You know, Shula walked up to me in pregame warm-ups. I'll get right to the story, but I had my eyes closed, and I was listening to the music, and I was drinking the Kool-Aid, and I was saying to myself, I can't believe it. I'm a freshman from nowhere, and rookie from nowhere, and I am starting in the NFL. And I was just dreaming it up, right? And Shula came over and kind of eclipsed the lights that were shining into my shut eyes, and I opened him up, and he was kind of foaming at the mouth, and he looked down at me and he says, hey, Offerdahl, you nervous? I can't tell you how nervous I was. And I was so excited, but I didn't know what to say to the coach who was expecting me to be the team captain, right, and leader. So I said the stupidest thing possible. I said, Coach, you know, not really, which is really a pathetic answer if you think about it. You're kind of like ambivalent, right? You have an opinion, right?
Yeah.
He looked down at me and he literally spit on me. He says, you gall darn frickin' better be. In this loudest pounding voice that everybody in the corner of the end zone hushed up and like there was a moment of silence. I'll never forget it. I kind of damped my pants right there in the spot.